So as we sit here, Tim, it's Thursday, the 11th of March. Now, historically,
Yeah, I know
there were times, we'd be at the Big East tournament. We'd absolutely be at the Big East tournament.
You would be wearing some acid wash jeans, your high tops unlaced, maybe some Timberlands,
Tim's,
and
the kids call them Tim's.
Some Tim's, and a flannel shirt open with like your I'm a Hoya t-shirt or something like that.
Great call. Right? It's I can actually the visual, maybe a hat on backwards, just sort of rocking the whole thing.
I don't think hats were on backwards in the 80s, man. I think they were on forwards just like mine is right now. I don't think that little boy backwards kind of catcher's thing, hip hop kind of, maybe off to the side, maybe like the flat bill hat like your boy CC like to wear on the mound, which I hate.
By the way,
I know you loved it. I know you love CC's flat bill cap because you're into that kind of stuff. But
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't like it, and I didn't like that it was always slightly askew. It was always just slightly, which annoyed me. But that was CC being CC, as they say.
I thought there was a Yankee way, though. I mean, how do you disrespect the uni like that by going askew and a flat brim hat? I mean, David Wells had that stubby hat too. Like, you guys have no regulation of your bill length over there.
So David Wells, I think David Wells actually bid on a Babe Ruth cap.
Yeah.
And I believe he tried to wear it in a game. I think memory escapes me, but it does, memories come back. And today the Hoyas of Georgetown defeated the Wildcats of Villanova in the second round of the Big East tournament to put the Hoyas in a position they haven't been, I think, in a decade.
Well, yeah, let's slow it down. So let's take these one game at a time, and hope down. Maybe the Hoyas could actually win one more game in the Big East tournament and not be packing.
Well, watch what I do here. Now, watch me if you can see me. They slayed the dragon in the form of Villanova. So it stands to reason that they have some momentum going into these final rounds.
So what you're saying is that the Hoyas have exorcised their demons.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's a great job by you.
I'm happy that you're still actually following college basketball because I find it to be almost unwatchable, and I know that's awful as someone that's loved the college game, but I just think. The college game was about watching teams evolve and emerge. And when you're one and done, I'm sorry.
No, it's hard. You're right. It's hard to get now. What I was going to my segue was going to be my awkward segue into the market.
Never awkward. You're never awkward.
How the mighty have fallen. I just heard, I think this morning, that the mighty Blue Devils of Duke, which obviously, they just pencil themselves in for the Final Four every year. They actually are dropping out, apparently, of the ACC tournament for COVID.
Why?
COVID breakout. So they're effectively, their season's over. Villanova obviously got knocked off their perch, although obviously they're going to the tournament. So I'm just wondering, are we seeing glimmers of that in the market, or is it or does the cream, as it always does, have the early round upsets, but chalk always rises to the top?
Well, what's interesting is so right. If Apple is Duke and Amazon is Kentucky, and there's a question about and is DraftKings now going to the big dance? By the way, I hate that term too. That's right up there with Turkey Day. I mean,
I agree. I'm
stealing. That's I'm actually channeling your angst on Turkey Day. I don't really have a problem with it, but the big dance and I don't know. Did you go to dances growing up? I mean,
I will tell you, I went to my senior prom. I believe, I definitely went to my senior prom.
What color?
No, just a very straight black. Straight
come
black.
On,
I'm just telling you. No, I don't. Okay, I mean, I'm lying to you about my tuxedo from 1982. No,
you wouldn't lie anyway. So
it was a straight black tuxedo. But what I'll tell you, I was the graduation speaker for the middle school the following day. So I actually went home. Of course I was. So I went home rather early that night.
Hold on a second. You were doing like the master of ceremonies speech at a middle school as a high school senior.
I was I was the graduation speaker for the 8th grade.
Come on.
I'm
That's almost as
I
hard to believe as that you didn't have a blue cummerbund.
I
But,
have a letter from the principal, Mr. Zayak, with a Zajak,
That's
sending it to
interesting. We
my
had a Zayak.
parents. Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Maybe
we did.
could be. Listen, we lived in the same county, albeit we
Yeah.
might as well live on different planets. But maybe there's some relation there. I don't know.
All right. So, gotcha. So you did
Anyway,
go
yes, I was a
to
graduation
your senior prom the day, and the day after your senior prom, you actually had to give the graduation speech for the
commencement speech.
yeah. Now, what's interesting is when you commence something, don't you start it?
It's a great point
friendship?
by you. It's that's
why
right
is
up there with park on driveways and drive on parkways. It's all one of those things. It's very hard to understand where it comes from. But yet you're right. I mean, but maybe you're commencing. Maybe the commencement speech is sort of you're starting your next chapter in life after grad. So maybe that's the way they view it. I don't know. But that's a great point by you.
Well, anyway, congrats on that. I'm sure you inspired some 11-year-olds to greatness at that time. I'm sure they were really focused on you. Anyway,
I believe there were 13-year-olds, but I get it, man. I get it.
No, and I, if I was there, I would be a different man today. But I wasn't. So, who's best days in the big dance that is the market is possibly over for some short period. And again, because Duke will be back. And
I think that's a fantastic question. So you wonder if, for example, is the best days behind Zoom in terms of the stock, having traded up to 580 now as a 3 handle, are the best days over for maybe Peloton?
But I mean, is a Zoom more akin to
a flash in the pan?
The Dayton Flyers,
right.
or
I see
or
what
a
you're doing
Gonzaga,
there. Or
like
a Davidson with Steph Curry. I see what you're doing there.
Yeah,
a Vatech, a Virginia Commonwealth back in the day.
As opposed to an Apple, who are the Duke Blue Devils, man, right now, right? They are. I mean, they are perennially there. They have so many different ways to beat you. And the talent is there, and look, Tim Cook might in fact be the Mike Krzyzewski of CEOs, in that guy's prepared, class act. People, these kids want to check this out. They want to run through a wall for him. Okay, I just did that. So yeah, and I think Duke's had a down year, Apple's had a bad month, but I got to tell you, Apple is the dance. All right, and I think, I know it's 2 weeks now from some real anxiety in the markets, especially around NASDAQ names, but I'm going to tell you that was probably the fastest 10% correction we've seen, as these corrections seem to be, and that's for another day. But I mean, did we get the correction out of the way in all of about 11 sessions with a lot of pain? But I think that was one of the noisiest pullbacks we've seen in markets in a long time, because everybody thought this was it. Look, I got to tell you, I'm happy to see Duke on the sidelines. I don't bleed any tears for Cameron Indoor, and I don't think anyone cares that Apple's traded back, I don't know, 14% off of those highs, but they're not going anywhere. They're coming back, and I actually think that big cap tech, and in fact, Amazon might be my Carolina, because it's been a longer period since Amazon's been leading this market, much in the same way that those powder blue boys down on Tobacco Road have also been kind of out of the mix. I think they'll be back as well.
Well, can't you feel the sunset? So on that note, James Taylor, Carolina on my mind, I'm going to bid you adieu until tomorrow.
Sweet baby guy. See you tomorrow.